Am I the asshole for putting my phone on do not disturb permanently? I, 26M, work as a paramedic part-time and then other days I am a volunteer firefighter. As of right now due to medical issues, I am on medical leave for ambulance, but I am still doing volunteer firefighting. Almost every day I have people calling me for a bunch of stuff, some work-related which I don't mind but it's about stuff that could have been texted, and they will call me at inconvenient times, such as when I am biking, firefighting or other inconvenient times. They even call me at 6 a.m. sometimes. Most of all, I get calls from my parents every fucking day asking me what I am doing and basically trying to organize my day like a military schedule. I tell them to just text but no, they insist on calling. I feel like they and others are trying to control my life and I have to sit here and just say yes. I have decided to put on DND. I allowed texts and Messenger and Snapchat but I set all calls to go straight to voicemail. My parents complain about it but I don't care, I like my peace. I know my coworkers won't like it much but I don't have the best relationship with them and I have been a yes man to them for a while. I am done being nice. I want to care about my own mental health from now on, and I feel the best way to do that is to take away control from the people trying to destroy it. Am I the bad guy for doing this? I ask because I want to know if I should brag about it to friends. Edit. I have a FirePager app on my phone that automatically overrides DND in silent function and turns my volume up to max and makes a loud noise. When that goes off, I obviously respond. All emergency communications are through the pager app, not through phone calls. Humans didn't evolve to have stimuli 100% of our days and to be in contact with every person we know at all times. It seems like you have trouble setting and maintaining boundaries. I would work on that rather than just all or nothing. Not the asshole. Protect your peace. If you're on iPhone, you can set up a focus mode to allow specific calls, texts, apps through. I limit who can get through on my phone during my workday with this feature. My phone has been on DND for 20 plus years. Tears of joy. As you're on leave from the ambulance and I assume you do shifts at the fire station for the firefighting, where you'll OBVS hear a bell and won't need your phone, you're fine. Not the asshole. Outgoing message. I don't answer phone calls. Please text me if this is important. Done. Why do you want to brag to your friends? You're asking if you are the asshole, but you'd like to brag? That part makes you are the asshole. If all these people are causing you that much turmoil, maybe a new number is in order. Am I the asshole for telling my physically disabled landlady I won't be doing work on her property anymore? Am I the asshole for telling my disabled landlady I won't help her around the property anymore? Updated. About 8 months ago, I was in need of a place for myself, 32M, and my fiancé, 25M, to go, and one of my acquaintances, 51F, offered us a deal. She would pay the utilities in a house she owned, and in exchange I would do certain chores for her around the property to get it ready for salve. She's physically disabled, hip and ankle replacement, so she can't do a lot of manual labor for herself. The total cost to her in utilities monthly is slightly under $350, and she basically got me as a free contractor. We agreed that those arrangement would last for 1 year, at which time my fiancé and myself would be financially stable enough to get our own place. The issue started about a month after I moved in. To make it short, she has a habit of asking for a small favor that turns into a large task that turns into a day's worth of work, or more, and has no respect for people's work or school schedule. I work anywhere from 40-60 hours a week, and my fiancé is pursuing a bachelor's at an accelerated pace, so we're always busy. We originally agreed to about 10 hours of labor a week, and that escalated to pretty much any time I am not physically at my actual job. Now what she does is come up with convoluted multi-day projects. Right now she wants a chicken coop built, and whenever she thinks I am off work, she starts calling and texting to make sure that as soon as I am in the driveway, I am working on tasks for her. She also gets angry when I have other obligations to take care of in my time off. She's hinted several times that she would probably evict me and my fiancé if we didn't keep up with her task list, and we won't have enough savings for another 4 to 6 weeks to step out into our own place. She knows this, and always makes these comments when she knows we've had an emergency that affects our savings, buying new tires for our vehicle, missing work for a funeral, etc. Today, I was working on her chicken coop. Despite being sick, she doesn't care and has been angry all day. I didn't do it yesterday evening when I got off work, and I overheard her telling one of her friends that she thinks my fiancé and I are losers because we don't have our own place and we are too lazy to do the work they need to do to keep the one I am giving them. I immediately stopped work and told her that we're such losers she can find someone else to do the work for her. My fiancé thinks I've opened the door to retaliation and I need to apologize to keep the peace. I told him that she's talked down and treated us like garbage long enough that I can't deal with it anymore, but he thinks we should just tough it out for another few weeks. Am I the asshole for going off on her and making it possible that we get evicted? Update: a couple of hours ago, the lady that my landlady was badmouthing me to called me, and told me that I am not the first person my landlady has done this to. Over the last 15 years, according to this lady, my landlady has screwed over 4 or 5 families, targeting down on their luck blue-collar men who are willing to trade work for rent that she normally meets through her church. She offers them a place to stay in exchange for them remodeling or repairing a house she owns, gets as much as she can out of them, and then starts harassing them to avoid fully delivering on her end. One of these people was this woman's son, which caused a rift between the son and his mother because she didn't know who to believe. In my case, she didn't want to wait the full year before she made her profit from the sale. Another guy got run off because she promised him 6 months in exchange for roofing work, and she wanted to rent the property out for cash as soon as he got done. I've been put into contact with a couple of these past tenants, and 2 of them have told me they'll show up in court on my behalf if she tries anything shady like an eviction. I plan on not saying anything, but if she tries to take me to court I intend to countersue, and I've got people willing to back me up. Not the asshole. You agreed to 10 hours of work per week, and she's spiraling it out of control. If what you agreed to isn't enough, then she needs to hire someone to get the rest of it done. Not the asshole. She has taken advantage of your promise of 10 hours per week and blown it to exploitation. Stop working. It will take her longer than a few weeks to evict you. The basic answer is, unless you have a lease, in writing, stating exact hours and chores, you either put up with her and do it all, or you move out. You are not the asshole, but you should leave with dignity and not a lot of bad feelings. You've had 8 malio of paying 0 rent or utilities. I'm sure you have a huge nest egg built up by now. Right? Especially working an average of 50 hours a week. It's time to find another place to live. Your time is up. Not only is she having you work more than the agreed upon 10 hours, she's adding projects that have nothing to do with getting the house ready for sale. She's going to continue to make up new projects to dominate your free time so she feels like she's getting her money's worth. She can rent the place out and pay a maintenance, handyman person to take care of her tasks. Kinda everyone sucks here, emo. God, if only there was a way to use your adult words and say, this isn't what we agreed to, and stick to it. But that would require talking and probably eye contact. Not the asshole. You made an agreement about hours to be worked with the goal of getting the house sale ready. Not sure how a chicken coop fits into that in any way. Am I the asshole for refusing to give up my Airbnb bedroom to a couple just because they got there first? So I, 28M, went on a group beach trip over the weekend. There were 6 of us. We split the cost of an Airbnb evenly. The place had 3 bedrooms. 1 master with an ensuite, 1 decent-sized room, and 1 smaller room with bunk beds. I booked the Airbnb, coordinated the whole trip, handled the deposit, etc. Naturally, I claimed the master. I didn't assign rooms to everyone, but I said up front I'd be taking that one for the effort I put in. No one objected. 2 of my friends, a couple, arrived at the house before I did. I had to work that morning, and when I got there, they'd moved their stuff into the master. When I told them that wasn't the plan, they said they thought I was kidding, and that since they're sharing a bed, it just made more sense. I told them they needed to move. I wasn't rude, but I tried to be direct. They pushed back, and I just said I didn't want to argue. I admitted that I have GI issues and kinda need the room due to proximity to the bathroom. Eventually they moved, but now half the group is saying I made it weird, and should have just let it go to avoid drama. I paid the same as everyone else, organized the trip, and called dibs. I didn't scream or throw a fit, I just enforced a boundary. I'm not into passive-aggressive group dynamics, IG. You are the asshole. There are 6 of you with 3 rooms, so you claimed an entire bedroom to yourself when there's couples? Did you pay 1/3 of the bill for the whole room? Or have you only paid 1/6, which means that room should have 2 people? You booking it doesn't mean you get the only vote. If everyone paid evenly, then everyone is entitled to the same vote. It doesn't seem natural for a single person to call dibs on the master when there are 3 bedrooms and 6 people. What is natural is that a bed made for 2 people have 2 people in it. How did you expect the other 5 to sort themselves? Why should a person on a couch pay the same rate as others? Or does the second bedroom sleep 3? It would have been weird whether you let them have the room or not, because you had attempted to make it clear that you were going to get the room. The whole thing is weird. Nothing you've described is passive-aggressive, so I have no idea where you're bringing that in. You didn't describe any boundaries either. You may need to look up what these words mean, or expound on how they apply here. Info. Where did the 6th person sleep? Because if you took the master bedroom and didn't share it, you'd be forcing one person to not sleep in a bedroom. In that case, they shouldn't have to pay the same amount as everyone else if they didn't get a proper room. Honestly, 3 bedrooms for 6 people when you were going to claim 1 room for yourself seems really short-sighted and poorly planned. Esh. Very odd that they tried to claim the room when you said up front you'd be taking it. But also, so odd for you to claim the master and shove the other 5 people into 2 rooms. Booking a trip isn't really that hard and doesn't warrant such a big reward. You booked an Airbnb with only 3 bedrooms for 6 people, at least one of whom, yourself, is expecting a room to yourself. You are the asshole. Unless the bunk bedroom sleeps 4, then where is the other solo person sleeping? And even then, you are the asshole for keeping the master to yourself while 3 others share. Next time, book a place with enough rooms for everyone. Sorry, but I think you are the asshole here. Organizing the trip shouldn't entitle you to have the biggest of 3 rooms to yourself, when you paid 1/6 of the cost. If you'd paid 1/3, then maybe, but even then it makes no sense when you're there solo. Where did the other 5 sleep, 2 and 3 to a room? Or were you sharing with someone? Either way, you made it weird by being pretty selfish in a situation where common sense would tell you that taking the master for yourself was not practical for a 6-person trip. Lack of self-awareness on your part here. Your friends were right. Am I the asshole for telling my boyfriend that is just not that deep? Still feeling a little upset, so sorry about the rambling. I'm 19 and my boyfriend 22. We met in uni about a year ago and didn't have much hobbies that we share since he's more of an outdoorsy guy whilst I like crochet and writing, but we found one thing in common: video games. One of my friends got into The Witcher and I've been obsessed with it since. Me and boyfriend started to play the 3rd game recently as it was on sale. Throughout the game he would point at Triss and say she was so pretty and cool. I agreed cause she's just that girl. We get to the point in the game where Geralt has to go into the bathhouse and he's shirtless. I said he's so fine and the scars make him so much hotter. We continue to play the game but my boyfriend stops interacting with me or even speaking to me, basically just airing me completely. About 15 minutes after the comment he just gets up and says he's going on a run. I put the Switch down and ask him if he's okay and he blows up on me. He starts repeating if he's enough for me, why I'm looking at other guys and if I wanted an older man. I tried to talk to him to calm him down but he wouldn't let me speak and just kept ignoring me. I said that it wasn't that deep and that I wasn't annoyed or irritated by the comments he made about Triss. IDK Aida? I've never seen him blow up like this. We usually sit and talk about whatever's bothering us. Seeing him shout at me about some pixel on a screen was just super weird. Not the asshole. He sounds very insecure. Holy double standard, Batman. It's okay if he talks about female characters and says how pretty they are, but you can't talk about male characters. Not the asshole. You found a very insecure boy to date. Does he think you are gonna leave him for a game character? Not the asshole. He's insecure about a character in a game? Is he serious? Not the asshole. If he's that insecure that a benign comment about a fictitious character can make him blow up and get controlling, take it as a warning and get out of that relationship. Not the asshole. You're dating an immature person. Leave and find an actual man. So it's fine for him to say Triss is hot, but he can't take you saying the same about Geralt. Not the asshole. It's pretty normal to be in a relationship and comment on characters' appearances. How could I get mad if my girlfriend says Chris Hemsworth is hot? Most of the times I'll say it myself and I'm straight XD. It's just a silly remark that everybody does when consuming media. Like, the whole point of movies like 007 is to have a hot ass, well-dressed eye candy on your screen at all times. Be it James or the Bond girls.